Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aries energy, and we're going to look at it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness high vibe Aries energy. Some people harness a more worldly focused Aries energy. Some people harness a more shadowy Aries energy. So people are going to handle this energy differently, just depending on how they harness their Aries energy. And we all tap into Aries energy. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story, where other people are at in the story. High Vibe Aries is people who are inspired to make good decisions in their life, love themselves, believe in their dreams, make good decisions in their life and in relationship with others. They want to be in relationships with other people who live their life like that. Aries energy is about the self, so if you're not aligned with your more high vibe Aries energy, you might be a little more motivated and inspired by the world or by yourself. So, okay, I got some cards coming out here. So let's get one more group of cards out, and then we'll see what's going on. Oof. Big chunks of cards want to come out, but I don't want 8 cards or more. I just want 1 or 2 or 3. Okay. Okay. I do have another channel, and it's called Tarotland Soap Opera, and I just got done doing the Aries reading. And the overarching reason for the reading in High Vibe was the Strength card. And in our shadow, the reason in high vibe, people would be tempering their pride, their ego, their fears, their insecurities because they're balanced and they're inspired to wrap their brain around this game of life. And it's realizing I need to temper my more worldly egoic nature if I want to work together with people from love. And in my Tarotland soap opera reading, people that were in shadowy energy were rejecting balance. And so, or hiding the fact that they just try to balance out their emotions, that they do operate maybe more from their more worldly egoic nature. So if any of you want to go check that out, the overarching reason for the reading is, are we going to balance out our emotions in order to work together with people cooperatively from love? I view kind of the 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups card, Capricorn, Cancer energy. Are we going to make our life operating more from our worldly nature, kind of use our emotions manipulatively, maybe stay in relationships with people who we think are kind of being a little emotionally manipulative, and we're just going to balance out our emotions about it? Or are we going to get balance within ourselves so that our foundation operates from love and we work together with other people who are balanced within themselves? Capricorn and Cancer can be the battle within ourselves. They're on opposing sides of the zodiac wheel. And we have to come into balance between our worldly nature and our loving nature without getting tipped out of balance. We find balance between the two. So some people are doing that work within themselves. Some people are tipped out of balance. So people are going to make decisions based on how they align with their Aries Leo energy. Am I more about ego, the world, me, indulgence, immaturity, whatever shadow nature I have? Or am I going to temper my worldly self nature to work cooperatively with people? So what's going on in Aries energy? We have the Temple Path, the Rest and Rejuvenation card, and the Walking Away card. And the reason it came out is because of the broken heart. The truth sets us free to live our life differently, or we can stay in denial of the truth, or the fact is we just still have some lessons to learn in life and we haven't learned them yet. People are going to move forward either still living more from their mind than their heart, because they're sure that's the way, that's the answer. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to do love. I get hurt doing love. I'm going to keep moving forward, living more from my mind than my heart. And it could be more about either indulging themselves, or I think it'll make me happy. Other people have seen the truth. They've meditated on the truth. And they're inspired to heal and operate from a place of truth and balance. So next we have 2 cards that aren't showing themselves, and the reason they came out is because of the 5th chakra and attachment card. The 5th chakra is Taurus energy of the throat, like what is our truth? The people that still have some things that manipulate them, that's how they view life. That's how they're going to move forward in life. And the people that have seen the truth and seen how living their life from their more worldly, egoic nature causes them to kind of have to wear a false mask, to not really, high vibe Leo energy is being authentically yourself. The way I present myself in the world, I want that to be a true reflection of who I am. But other people can present themselves in the world as happy, stable, grounded, loving, but it's kind of more of an illusion they're creating, because they do have their more worldly or egoic nature kind of manipulating them, and they think, I'll be happy living my life like that. If I have someone to indulge me in my ego or my worldly nature, shadowy nature, if I'm bossy, if I'm controlling, if I'm prideful, if I'm immature, if I can find someone to indulge me in that way, I think that'll make me happy. I don't want to do love. I want to hide behind my egoic defensive nature. And other people are like, I've seen how living my life like that, in my more worldly nature, codependent nature, whatever, it makes me not live my authentic life, and I want to live my authentic life. So the difference can be about how people harness these energies. We can get in relationships with people. We could get in relationships with people because a different relationship didn't work out, and we want to move forward in a new relationship. And we can think that people are on the same page as us, but sometimes it has to do with how we harness these energies, and we don't realize that we could harness those energies differently. And how we intended to move forward in the relationship was different. We could realize, if we're in mismatched relationships, we realize that one person could be using their emotions manipulatively, trying to tempt people to stay in a relationship with them more out of pride or ego or fear or codependency, and indulge someone in a relationship. And because we're kind of indulging ourselves in our own shadowy nature. And the people that are on the same page are people who are inspired to live their authentic life. And then some people might look at people that are getting along cooperatively in a loving, just, fair way, whatever, if that's a friendship, family dynamics, romantic relationships, and people might not understand how are those people doing that? Are they just putting on an act? Are they just creating an illusion? Because that's sometimes what shadowy people do. It's just to create this illusion because they want to be in a relationship, or they want a certain image or status, or because of their fear or their insecurities or their codependent nature. And they're really just trying to create an illusion that they're these inspired, loving, just, fair people. And when people are really living their authentic life and they are working together in these authentic, loving ways, some people don't get it. They just think you're wearing a mask. But the people that are on the same page, they do harness these energies both in a high vibrational way. And the people that are going to move forward in this energy in a more worldly, shadowy way, the reason they might stay in a relationship is because they both could harness those energies in a more shadowy way. And for the people that are having some problems in a relationship right now and find themselves in a mismatched relationship, one of them harnesses them in a high vibe way and one of them harnesses them in a low vibe way. And for a long time, we can be in relationships with people and not realize that at a core foundational level, we're kind of driven and motivated by different things. So let's go see what the high vibe people harness. All Tied Up and the Goddess of the Moon. When high vibe people, well, the All Tied Up card I view is like the Eight of Swords, which is Gemini energy, which is about what am I going to align with within myself, and what do I love, and what's my truth. High vibe people listen to their intuition, and they stay focused on truth and love, and when things come up in a relationship that are difficult, they do this work to listen to their intuition. Am I speaking my truth? Is the other person speaking their truth? Do we have the same philosophy of life? Because Taurus energy has to do with our philosophy of life. Are we both being authentic? Are one or both of us staying in the relationship more out of fear or insecurity or codependency or wearing a false mask? The people that are moving forward in life together in this more authentic, just, fair, balanced, loving way, both of those people give a lot of thought to listen to their intuition and love to guide the decisions that they make, to speak their truth, to be authentic. And they do this work within themselves to not kind of get caught up in maybe their more selfish nature in a way, stubborn nature. And so some people who see people moving forward that way, they might not understand it. Like, why does their relationship seem to be so loving or nurturing or warm or authentic? It's because these people do this work within themselves and they reject harnessing those energies in a shadowy way, which is, when I get caught up in my head, I just try to create this illusion that this is my truth, when it's really not. And they don't get caught up in their fear and their insecurity. They're authentic. They speak the truth. They're inspired to speak the truth. They know that if they create an illusion or they don't deal with their own issues, it's probably, then they're kind of going to be moving forward in more defensive energy or fearful energy, shadowy energy, like, oh, I'm just going to balance out my emotions about the fact that I continue to move forward with this, even though this isn't my truth. So they've learned that I need to deal with the truth. If things get me up in my head, I need to listen to my intuition. I need to do this work within myself first, not just blame the people I'm in a relationship with. I need to do this work within myself first to free myself from the things that manipulate me so that I am being truthful and authentic and dealing with the truth. And then when I've done that work within myself, that I'm balanced within myself, I'm loving myself, I've worked through my fears, my insecurities, my self-limiting beliefs, I communicate that to the people I'm in relationship with. And if those people are on the same page as me, it might initially put them up in their head too, but then they work through their own fears and insecurities about speaking their truth and working through their fears, their insecurities, their self-limiting beliefs about being more authentically themselves and warm and loving in the situation to work together in a just and fair, truthful, honest, balanced, loving way. And that's how high vibe people work together with other people that they're in relationship with. The people that might be a more shadowy energy, they previously could have been in relationships because we all have people in our life who are loving and encouraging us, and we have people in our life who are happy we live our life the way that we live it. if we're going to move forward in truth and love, we have to do this work. Taurus energy is earth sign energy, about putting in work and effort. It does take work and effort. Everybody has to take responsibility for tempering their more ego nature, me nature. And they have to maintain balance within themselves to work cooperatively with other people. And it is about being more authentically yourself, not trying to manipulate people, not trying to control people. Some people had loving people they could have been in a relationship with, but they could have decided, I don't want to put in the work and effort it takes to keep moving forward, kind of like growing and healing and maturing myself. And the truth could be that they have some things that manipulate them. Maybe like their pride and ego, other people in their life, the world that manipulates them, tempts them to not maybe be more authentically themselves in the world. My truth could be, I want to hide behind my ego. I'm afraid of being more authentically myself. I could be afraid of love. I can get hurt doing love. So people can stay in relationships with people for a long time, but then it kind of gets to be where, are people willing to speak the truth? And if some people were going to be in a relationship, maybe some people did something that was hurtful and unkind, and then they don't want to speak the truth about it, to reveal that maybe they do have some fears and insecurities. Maybe they did try to manipulate someone, use the love that someone had for them to try to manipulate and control them. Instead of being more just and fair, being willing to deal with their own issues to grow and mature themselves. And if they did do something kind of hurtful or unkind, or they just realized, that's not how I want to live my life. I really am more about me or the world or indulgence or ego or something. They could have walked away, just like they walk away from making the free will choice to align with their more loving, hopeful, believing nature. They end up walking away from people that are like that in their life. And they choose to align with their more worldly view of life and align with people in their life who live their life like that. They might be hiding the fact that they have a lot of fear about love and listening to their intuition. Why would some people have fear about love and listening to their intuition? Because they were previously drawn to certain people and it didn't work out the way they wanted. They were heartbroken. Well, the whole thing is, I'm kind of viewing the walking away card as like an Eight of Wands card. We're drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons learned from those people and that life experience. If we were to see the truth of the situation about why that relationship didn't work out, we have to be willing to deal with the truth. Where did I need to grow up and mature myself? Did I act with character and integrity? Did I have growing and healing and maturing to do? Did I do it? Was I up in my head? Was I in my fear and my insecurity? Was I being like prideful or egotistical or manipulative or full of myself or something? What about the people I got in a relationship with? If we see the truth of it, then we will see the truth of it. We'll do this work within ourselves. I need to grow up and mature myself. I'm willing to see the truth of that, where I needed to grow up and mature myself, to take off. I want to grow from this experience. I don't want to repeat that pattern. I'm not willing to give up on my dreams. Just my dream didn't come in with those people, maybe because I had lessons learned. And I needed to grow and mature myself. I need to temper my fears and my insecurities. Some people, and then other people didn't do that work to deal with the truth. They didn't want to see the truth about themselves, or they didn't want to see the truth about the people they got in a relationship with. Well, if we don't see the truth and deal with the truth, because the truth sets us free, we'll keep repeating a pattern over and over. Say someone has maybe some people love love, but they have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. And they just love love and they get in relationships with people. Are they seeing the truth about the people they get in relationship with? Or do I just like to kind of indulge myself in a relationship and magically think everything will work out? But yet I get in relationships with people who really aren't on the same page as me. Well, if we don't see the truth of it, and how can people be on a different page than you? Maybe they're really immature and impulsive, and we really don't like being in relationships with people who are immature and impulsive, but we don't want to see that that's why the relationship didn't work out. Well, then we'll keep getting in a relationship with someone like that, or someone who maybe has addictions, or just lives their life in a way that we don't live it really, or maybe they're prideful, maybe they're bossy, maybe they're controlling, but we don't want to see the truth of it. No, I love them. Okay, well, then we'll probably keep getting in relationships with people like that because we're not willing to see through the illusion of that, well, I love them, or I'm attracted to them. It's like, we can love people and be attracted to all sorts of people, but are we going to get in relationships with all those people and expect it's magically going to work out when they were showing us that maybe they aren't really on the same page? Sometimes some people like to live a life of illusion. They like to live more from their mind and their heart. They are more about hiding behind their false mask, their egoic nature. I want to look like I have these things in the world. I'm in this illusion that, well, they're hoping to maybe find someone else who's on the same page as them. Do you have fear of love? Do you love love? Are you immature? Can we both wear our false masks? Can we both operate from our defensive egoic nature? Can we just emotionally manipulate each other in this relationship out of our fear and codependency and stay in the relationship? And that's what some people are going to do. If they knew they didn't want to put work and effort to deal with their own fears and insecurities, or they live in illusion, or they don't want to be more authentically themselves, and they like living more behind their defensive egoic nature, they just need to find someone else who's on the same page as them. And if they have found someone who's on the same page as them that could have some of the same fears and insecurities or has these same illusions about what it means to be in a relationship, well, those people are going to move forward together in a relationship because that's how they view life. They both might be operating more from their ego or their fear or their codependency or something. And they're just both going to balance out their emotions that they're working together with people that might not be aligned with truth and love and justice and fairness and healing, but if neither one of them want to be just or fair or heal or grow or mature themselves, well, then that's a perfect relationship for them to be in. And they're probably just balancing out their emotions about the fact that they're trying to be strong about being in a relationship with someone when they do have all these fears and insecurities that they're not willing to deal with. And they choose to operate, I'm just going to operate from my ego. I'm going to keep moving forward with this. I don't want to deal with my fears and insecurities about love. I like to keep those things buried beneath the surface. Or if this relationship looks like I've got all these things that other people have in the world and I want to look like I have those things too, if I have someone who's either willing to indulge me in a relationship in order to have those things, I'll stay in a relationship with them. Or if there's someone I can be in a relationship with where I might have to kind of indulge them, but it helps create this illusion about my life and it looks maybe great by worldly standards, and this person isn't requiring me to heal or grow or mature myself, and I'm not requiring them to grow or heal or mature themselves, we're on the same page. And then sometimes some high vibe people get in a mismatched relationship, and they think, well, if I have someone who's on the same page as me, then maybe they'll be able to heal or grow or mature themselves. where they're in a relationship with someone who is more about themselves or the world or their defensive nature or their egoic nature or got some shadowy nature going on. And they realize as the relationship moves forward that, we're not on the same page. Am I going to keep indulging someone who I feel is in a relationship with me for the wrong reason? Or someone who uses the love that I have for them to try to manipulate me. And they keep not doing this work within themselves to heal and grow and mature themselves, to work together with me cooperatively and authentically in a loving, warm, just, fair way, acting with character and integrity from love. Are they ever going to free themselves from the things that manipulate them? And eventually people might speak their truth. I'm done being up in my head about this. I want, Leo energy also represented by the sun versus the moon here. I feel like we're maybe not being authentic with each other. I think we're kind of motivated and inspired by different things. This is my truth. This is how I want to move forward in a relationship. I'm offering you love and encouragement. I'm being authentic. I'm being honest. I want to move this relationship forward, but I want to move forward in this high vibrational energy. And it gives the other people the free will choice, if they're going to do this work within themselves, to work through their own fears and insecurities about speaking their truth and taking off the false mask. Not let their fear or their ego or these illusions they have about themselves or relationships of maybe thinking it's supposed to be more about them, where the scales of justice are kind of always tipped in their favor. And some people have that illusion about relationships. Or, I think I should be able to keep being defensive in this relationship. I want you to be loving and nurturing and warm, but I keep wanting to be defensive. It's like, well, then my dream can't come into reality with you, can it? Because the only way my dream can come into reality is to be in a relationship with someone else who has worked through their issues that stop them from being more authentically themselves in a relationship. To work together with me cooperatively from love. And sometimes when we communicate to the people that we kind of have a mismatched relationship with, you can be in a romantic relationship and some of these other people are just a friend or a family member or an adult child. We do truth and love and justice and fairness, and, we're not hiding our fears and our insecurities. We're not wearing a false mask. We're not trying to manipulate and control people. Do you want to come with in this energy or not? For the people that are in mismatched relationships, they can be patient and strong for a really long time. And you might know some people right now, or that's you, and that's the phase of the relationship that they're still in. When we're ready to deal with the truth, we'll deal with the truth. Until we are ready to deal with the truth, we're going to keep being patient and being strong, dealing with people, hoping that one day, they'll come along with us in this way. And some people are at that phase of life. Other people have already gotten out of those type of relationships. They already went through that phase, and they kept being heartbroken. The other person kept kind of, whatever manipulating them, continued to keep manipulating them. And eventually it's like, if I keep staying in a relationship with you, I have to let those things manipulate me because they manipulate you. Even if that's other people in your life who manipulate you, or the world that manipulates you, or your fear, or whatever, your bossy nature, your immature nature. It ends up being a third party in our relationship. And I want to be in relationships with people where the third party is hope and faith and belief and love. And so some people already walked away from those people. Some of the people in their life are wondering how they're doing this. They seem to be so balanced and strong and being authentic. How are they doing that? It's like, because they did this work within themselves. And what some of the people who could have been hurtful or unkind or manipulative don't understand, because they always just kind of put on a show and try to create this illusion about who they are. They could think you're just putting on a better illusion than they are. But you're not creating an illusion. And that's what they don't get. You're not up in your you're not strategizing and trying to create an illusion. You are speaking your truth. You are being authentically who you are. They might have never done that in their life, and they don't really know people who do that, so they can't really comprehend it. And then, but they see you doing this and they wonder how it is that, how do you seem to be maybe seeming so confident or stable or balanced or loving? How do you do that? How do you put on a show like that? And the thing is, you got out of being in a mental prison about people in your life who were unjust, unfair, unkind, unloving, whatever. You were inspired to put in the work and effort to free yourself, because high vibe energy is about freeing yourself from things that manipulate you. High vibe Leo is giving yourself the things that you wish other people would have given you so that you can heal and feel balance within yourself. Knowing I've dealt with people in my life, just like the rest of us, who had lessons to learn in life to be a more loving, just and fair, warm, authentic, free person. And I know some people haven't freed themselves from some of those things. And they could act in ways that could have been heartbreaking. Because I wish they had freed themselves to be more loving or authentic or just or fair. But they weren't. I just accept that they are where they're at in life. It takes work. It takes a lot of work. When people do this work within themselves to free themselves from the things that manipulate them, to deal with their past pain and heartbreak, they know how hard it is. And that's when they can be compassionate to other people. And we can see why people didn't put in the work and effort to free themselves from those things, because it takes a lot of work and effort. You have to be willing and kind of determined and inspired. I am going to free myself from those things. I do not want the past or unkind people, unloving people, unjust people. I don't want shadowy energy to win, to keep me from loving and believing in myself and believing in my dreams. And sadly, some other people had people like that in their life and went through their own life experiences, and they did let that stop them from believing in themselves and loving themselves and believing in their dreams. And they could have decided, it's too confusing, it's too hard, I'm just going to push through, operating more from my ego nature, that I don't have to deal with it, or I can ignore it. I don't have to deal with it. And I think, but it ends up affecting how they act in a relationship. They get triggered because they haven't healed that wound. And I think another thing they don't see coming, instead of listening to their intuition about the loving people in their life, because they're afraid of love, I get hurt doing that. What they don't realize is that because of their fear and insecurities is clouding their judgment. And I think they'll be drawn and attracted to people in their life who might remind them subconsciously, they won't realize it till later, towards people who are kind of like the people that they could have had in their life that could have broken their heart before. Because they haven't seen the truth of it. In order to be free, we have to see the truth. And if we're not willing to offer love to ourselves and to the situations to deal with the truth of it, work through our fears and insecurities, admit to ourselves where we had to grow and mature and heal ourselves, see the truth about people we could love, they're maybe a little controlling, they're maybe a little manipulative, they're maybe a little prideful and egotistical. They always want people to balance out their, can we see that other people are fallible human beings? Some people have a problem with it because they love those people. And I don't want to see the truth that those people could have been a little manipulative or stubborn or prideful or more about the world and ego and image. Some people just can't see the gray in life. I can't admit, because some people really did view people as these people they really looked up to and admired. But somewhere in there, they were heartbroken. But they don't want to deal with the truth of it. And then sometimes when they get in relationships with people who also are people that they could look up to and admire, but those people are more loving and warm and authentic, and it's kind of like, this causes me like cognitive dissonance, because I view those people as loving, and I like how they go about a lot of things maybe in the world. I might like how you go about a lot of things in the world, but it's starting to make me kind of to deal with the difference. And I don't know why it would be so bad for some people, but some people really have a problem. Why can't we just see that, gee, I really liked and loved these people, and I could still like and love these people? It's kind of like being a piano player. They played great piano to the best of their ability. But now I could have met some people who even play piano with a little different twist, a little different whatever. I like that. But that can really be a problem with people, again, in their Taurus energy of their philosophy of life. And some people, it is kind of like, well, if I thought that was good, but I also like this, does that mean that's bad? It's like, how about we were all learning lessons, and people that had lived life a certain way had their own good traits and qualities and characteristics. And then we kind of meet other people, but that have other ways of doing things that we also like. Can't we kind of appreciate what different people bring to the table? But for some people, it really could have to make them look maybe one could have been more superficial and shallow, living more from the mind than their heart, maybe seeming like shadowy Taurus energy, because the fifth chakra, the throat, is Taurus, and the temple path in shadow can be Taurus energy. It can really cause some people to force people to see something that by worldly standards could have been really good in a lot of ways, but maybe it was not quite where people were encouraged to maybe be more authentically themselves, live their authentic life. It could have been more about conforming to the world, and this is how you should live your life. And it makes me think of that Bible verse, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But for some people, that really is a sticking point for them. If your 8 all tied up is being like the 8 of Swords, it's that last 2 of Swords. And it could be, seeing the difference of what, at a core foundational level, what people aligned with. And people can really, in the 2 of Swords, it's like, it can be about people being stuck. I don't want to see the truth. Some people might not want to see about themselves that they're more aligned with either being more about themselves or defensive, or a little more worldly, egoic, materialistically focused, because they like to view themselves as this pillar of society. I'm not prideful, I'm not egotistical, I'm not materialistic, but really at a core foundational level, they are. But they don't want to work through that last 2 swords where you've got to pick a path. Because people can either, and there is people in the world who have chosen, I align more with and have in the driver's seat of my life that it's about truth and love and justice and fairness at a core foundational level, will be what guides my decisions. Other people have definitely picked, it's a little bit more about me or my ego or my image or the world or my fear or my, something. And then there's people that don't want to have to make a choice. That would be the Two of Swords. And that is what could be really a life lesson that people are going to go on, because some people don't want to pick a path. I want to look like I'm this type of person, but I really kind of am more aligned with this way of being. And it is kind of like I'm creating an illusion in the world, because I don't want to pick love, but I want to be in relationships with people who are loving and warm and nurturing and supportive, but I don't really want to be that person. Can't I just create an illusion I'm that type of person? Can't I move forward with you anyway? Well, it works for a long time in a relationship until the rubber meets the road. Eventually over time, relationships grow and mature themselves. And in order for it to become a more emotionally mature, authentic, loving relationship, as time goes by, people have to work through that duality within them. If you're going to be in relationships with people who are motivated and inspired by love, you should be someone who's motivated and inspired by love. And that's when, in a mismatched relationship, people say, this is my truth. This is how I'm moving forward. Do you want to come forward with me in that way? And some people are like, no. I would have to become more authentically myself. I would have to come out from behind my self-protective nature, operating from my ego, to be more authentically myself. And I maybe don't feel like I have the foundation within myself that if I were to be more authentically myself, what if it didn't work out? And so then they get up in their head, they don't trust other people. Well, the whole thing is, you don't really have to trust other people. You just have to trust that you can pick yourself back up again, because there are no guarantees in life. You could love someone and they get hit by a bus and they're no longer in your life. You have to be able to know, I can pick myself back up again. Am I strong enough to get balance within myself and heal if somebody breaks my heart? And some people might feel like they can't do that. And so that's why they do decide, I don't even want to do love. I'd rather be in a relationship with someone where it's more about creating an illusion and me operating from my ego. And if they're manipulating me or I'm emotionally manipulating them, I don't really care. I just don't think I could pick myself up. Because when you're really kind of operating from your ego, some people think, well, if it doesn't work out, then I can just walk away because I wasn't authentically invested in it anyway. I really didn't have my heart in the game. And that's what some people realize in these mismatched relationships. I have my heart in the game, but you don't. I want to be in a relationship with someone who's bold and brave enough to do love. So the people in the world, then we get out of those relationships. We speak our truth. We communicate with other people. This is how I'm moving forward. Do you want to come with me? Are you on the same page as me? Some people won't. Sometimes we don't know people well enough to know the truth about them. We don't know. Are they in their own loving relationship? Or are they maybe kind of more shadowy or worldly focused than I realized? I don't know. I'll assume, though, if they're in a relationship, I'll just assume it's this loving, wonderful relationship that they're in. And of course they should, because you can meet people or reconnect with people you don't know if they're in a relationship. You can work with people you don't know if they're in a relationship. Just assume, wish them peace, love, and joy, and assume if they're in a relationship and not putting in work and effort to move forward with you. It's like, well, I assume you're in a happily loving relationship then. I'm not going to be up in my head about it in fantasy land and illusion. I can only work with people who are willing to work together with me in this way. So I'll assume, or you're just happy living your life whatever way you live it. If people were on the same page as me at the same time, and, you got that unique thing that makes you want to be friends with people or date people, they would speak their truth, reveal the truth, take off the mask, temper their pride, their ego, their fear. Maybe some people are just fearful and insecure and too unwilling to speak up. Okay. I can only deal with the people who are willing to take action, because this is a masculine figure. I can only, and male or female, I need someone in my life, and I need to do that within my own life. I need to take action in the world to offer people to be truthful, to be honest, to be loving, to be encouraging, to treat other people the way I like to be treated. I can only do my part. And then if there's people in the world who do take action towards me and want to work together with me, I'm not going to take action out of pride and ego or fear, insecurity, or lust or greed or codependency, because I want an authentic, loving relationship. And I'm going to listen to my intuition about the people who might communicate with me that they want to be in a relationship with me, to find out what their truth is. Get to know them. Find out if they're someone who this would be good for their ego and image to come get in a relationship with me. They were already in a loving relationship, but this one seems like it'd be better for some reason, in some shape or form. I don't want someone to get in a relationship with me just because it's good for their ego and image, wondering if they can create an illusion about why they left their last relationship. That's where some people are at right now. Some people are in a mismatched relationship, and someone's trying to left a loving relationship because of their fear and insecurity, trying to get someone new to work with them in a relationship. And some of the people in their life are like, I want to know the truth about why that other relationship ended. And then they're going to listen to their intuition if they think that person's telling the truth. Are they willing to tell the truth? Or are they not? And, when people know they're not telling the truth, well, that person wanted me to work through my fears and insecurities and be more authentic and temper my pride and ego. I kind of maybe liked it about myself, or maybe I did some immature things in it. Maybe I was kind of being bossy and controlling. Are they willing to reveal the truth? When someone is hiding the truth, the people who listen to their intuition can tell. Some of those people aren't going to stay in a relationship with them. Some of those people are like, perfect. You're just the kind of person I want to be in a relationship with. There's always bigger fish in the sea. Some of the people that are kind of shadowy, sometimes they try to manipulate loving people to stay in a relationship with them. Some of these people are going to be taught a hard lesson, because there's other people in the world who look for people like them. Oh, did you shove away some loving people? Perfect. You didn't want to be in a relationship with them for some reason? Interesting. Are you kind of more about living more from your mind than your heart, and more about ego and image? Perfect. Let's get married. You're my kind of person. So basically, as long as I just, because this would work for me. I want to be in a relationship with you for what it does for me. I have my own selfish reasons for wanting to be in this relationship. Probably not love. Just because I want to be in a relationship. It's good for my ego and image. Are you willing to kind of indulge me in this relationship because you don't want to step out your comfort zone? You're more about ego and image. I might have some of the traits or qualities or characteristics or assets that you like. Perfect. And then they end up getting in a relationship with someone who's kind of like themselves. And both people can be operating more from their mind than their heart, being strategic, emotionally manipulating people to get what they want, trying to emotionally manipulate people. And maybe for people it would be a wake-up call, like, oh my gosh, this could be like some people I've known in my life or something, and I'm repeating an old pattern. And that pattern made me not kind of love and believe in myself and believe in my dreams. And I felt manipulated. And I felt like I was being manipulated. And for some of those people, it could be the thing to set them free. Could take years. Don't hold your breath for people like that. Some other people are in those mismatched relationships. It's like, I'm not staying anymore. I'm going to speak my truth. Even if it was that I was caught up in illusion, that I could have gotten in this relationship out of fear or insecurity, or didn't know if my dreams would come into reality. High vibe people aren't operating from pride and ego. They're willing to admit they made mistakes, that they had lessons to learn. They probably did, though, in the relationships with the people that they were in, to work together with them from a place of love and authenticity. And then some of the people they could have been in a relationship with didn't want to do that. So what's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Aries energy that they might not see coming up? The Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Tower, and the Page of Pentacles. And the reason is it came out is because of the Hierophant, Taurus energy. When we're in relationships with people where we want it to move forward in a more authentic, just, fair way, we could be surprised that the people we're in relationship, they have a different philosophy of life. And they're not willing to detach from this old way of viewing life, to be a student of life, to look at life differently, to have hope and faith and belief and love, or being in a relationship where it is more about the ego or the image or the money or them being indulged. And we see the truth of it. And we're willing to let go of that old foundation to be a student of life. Life is about learning lessons. I got in relationships with people, realized we weren't on the same page. What drives and motivates them is different than what drives and motivates me. Or they have some fears and insecurities that they don't want to work through. Well, I want to be in a relationship with people who have reflected on the truth, who have looked at life from a higher perspective, who have seen the truth of how their own worldly way of viewing life, or getting caught up in the illusion of the world, or they're more wanting just to be in a relationship, because Taurus can reference all those things, was stopping me from becoming all I could be. And I see through it within myself, and then I see how the people that I was aligning myself with in life wanted me to keep living my life that way. And I don't want to live my life that way. Those people might want to keep living their life that way, and that's fine. But I'm ready to move forward in life differently. And I want to go invest in other people who've healed, who've looked at life from a higher perspective, who've detached from their more worldly view of life, who are going on an adventure to learn more lessons in life. You know, and that's the thing. We go through these phases of life to learn lessons. Some people are like, I'm good. I want to do life just like this. I have no interest in stepping out of my comfort zone. I have no interest in looking at life from any other perspective. I'm good. And we just need to see the truth of it. You might be fine and happy living your life like that. Peace be with you. It's just no longer, at one time I might have wanted to live my life like that too, but I don't anymore. And I'm ready, even though it's heartbreaking and it's sad, I'm listening to love and intuition to guide me. And I feel like if I keep staying, living my life the way I do, it could be more out of my fear and insecurities. And I don't want to wear a false mask. I want to be authentically myself. I want to be in the career fields and work with people that I love, that inspire me. I want to be in relationships with people who I can love and encourage to become all they can be, who encourage and love me to become all I can be. I don't want to keep just, I don't know, making my life about image or status or money or materialism or indulgence or fear or codependency. And I think as people do that, they speak their truth, and they communicate with these other people in the world. This is how I'm moving forward. And then there comes a time, where we're patient, let people absorb. This is the way I'm going to live my life now. And there comes a point in time where we need to take action on our truth. The people that are working with me and taking action with me are the people I'm going to move forward with. And the people who aren't, I can't keep staying, not moving forward in life, waiting for other people to take action. I'm going to keep taking action to bring my dreams into reality, because every day someone isn't putting in work and effort to work with me in this way is one more day that they choose not to. And I can't be up in my head about why they do what they do. They have free will. And apparently that's how they want to live their life. Or not be in a relationship with me, or be my friend. Okay, I accept the truth of it. I'm not going to stay up in a mental prison about it. I love and believe in myself, and I'm going to go find the people in the world who are on the same page as me. And because some people know that, that could be the thing to get some people to kick it into gear and make you that offer. But it's like, there comes a time where people need to take the action. And if you don't take the action, I'm going to take the action by just not being up in my head about it. And I'm going to keep investing in what I need to invest in today in my world to bring my dreams into reality, living my life, getting that job, investing in those friendships and those family dynamics and people in my life that are on the same page as me. What's going on for people who might harness a little more worldly, shadowy Aries energy that they might not see coming? The Tower, the King of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles because of the King of Wands. So, some people never thought people would do this work within themselves to free themselves from some of these people. Because we can love people, right? But eventually there comes a time, even after we do kind of walk away from people, then we have to do this work within ourselves emotionally. So in our Taurus energy, we put in the work and effort emotionally, looking at life from a higher perspective, putting life in perspective, dealing with the truth. That if people aren't putting work and effort to work together with me in this way, then they obviously operate from a different foundation. And I'm going to go invest in the people who want to work together with me in this energy. And some people did not see that coming. And some of those people, that you're going to take action to pick up, I view the Two of Pentacles as part of it can be that you picked up your investment in something to get balance within yourself. Why? Because you're bold and brave and confident in your Aries energy. And you're going to stand in your truth. Maintain balance within yourself. I am going to take action in my truth. You're taking action in your truth. Apparently, we're motivated and inspired by different things and have different truths. Mine is about truth and love and justice and fairness. Yours might be more about yourself. Shadowy Aries energy. And the high vibe people saw the truth of it. They operate from their more worldly, shadowy nature. And I'm going to pick up my investment in you, and I'm going to speak my truth and take action on my truth, and I'm going to detach from this foundation. And then there'll be other people who are a counterpart in the King and Queen of Swords who have learned these same lessons that I have, that are also getting out of these type of workplaces, friendships, and relationships, that are also speaking their truth and no longer going to live a life of illusion, getting balance within themselves, being bold and brave enough to come up here and heal and look at life from a higher perspective, do that inner healing work, so then they can go have this new beginning. Actually, people in high vibe Taurus energy who walk the talk, not people in shadowy Taurus energy. Doesn't have to be a Taurus sun sign, it's just people's philosophy of life in their own Taurus energy, who could be more about living more from their mind and their heart, and everybody should stay in these jobs or these relationships because of the image or the status or because of your fear or because of your codependency. It's like, hell nah. And there's going to be other people that you are going to meet that are on the same page as you. But if we keep indulging people in poor behavior, we're not investing in people who are on the same page as us. And the high vibe people are done. They have come to peace within themselves. I have offered people love and encouragement. I have been patient. I have been loving. And there comes a time where I can't be patient with people who harness their Capricorn Cancer energy in a more worldly, shadowy way. I need people who have freed themselves from that, who operate from a foundation of love, because that's the foundation I'm operating from. And that's what's just and fair. It's an injustice it's one thing to offer people love and encouragement. We see people all the time during our day, during our life. Am I going to get in a relationship with you? No. Am I going to marry you? No. Am I going to stay in a relationship with you or a marriage with you if I'm in one? No. I wish you peace, love, and joy. But I'm not, as long as that's how you keep living your life, we're not on the same page. That's what drives and motivates you, and that's how you want to live your life. Go live your life. And some of those people are trying to, right now, go live their life with some other people that have already had people who have moved on in life differently. And what they might not see coming is if they try to get another high vibe person to stay in a relationship with them and just live more from their mind than their heart and just balance themselves out, that this person is a little bit more about themselves, that's not going to work. And a relationship that they're trying to move forward in could come to an end. The problem is when people are shadowy, even if they're in a relationship with someone who's shadowy, well, then we have two people who live more from their mind than their heart, two people who juggle, two people who kind of want to be the indulged person in a relationship or in the relationship for whatever they can get out of it. And if someone else has more money, more status, more image, more seeming to want to indulge them, they'll go get in a relationship with that other person. Because it wasn't about love anyway. It's all about me and what works for me. And then some of you have to be careful because some of those, that's why we listen to our intuition. Some people are the shadowy person that's getting out of a relationship because they don't want to put in the work and effort anymore. Here's someone else. I think I can go get in a relationship with them. And I think you'll listen to your intuition. Some of the people in your life who you could meet or could approach you or that that you viewed as being someone who walks the talk, you see the truth that they're not. They aren't who you thought they were. And it could be what frees you because there could have been some people in your life that you kind of could have had illusions about that you weren't seeing clearly. And then if some of those people come towards you, you see the truth. And you're like, no, I've already been in relationships with people like you. Other people are the high vibe people getting out of those kind of mismatched relationships. And those people will come and speak the truth to you. You will see the truth that they are these people who've healed, who've looked at life from a higher perspective. Speak the truth, and those are people you're going to move forward with. And I think it's the shadowy people who thought for sure their way was the right way. They were going to get justice. They were so smart. Inner pride and ego comes before the fall, right? Thought they could juggle people oh, look, I'll go indulge in this. I can reject these loving people. I want to go indulge in this. And then they come back and try to maybe, if that didn't work out the way they wanted, and then they want to come back to the loving people in their life. The loving people are like, I'm good. I've kind of moved on. I think we're at a good place now. This seems to be it. You were right. You were right when you didn't really think this was the right thing for you, or I didn't think it was the right thing for me. I'm okay with it. I'm good. And they're like, what? You mean I can't juggle you? And some of the shadowy people who might come in your life who think they can juggle you could be shocked that they can't juggle you. But regardless of where we're at in the story, we can all have made mistakes and pushed away people in our life. And then we want, we've learned lessons, and we want, hoping some of those people would want to get back in friendships and relationships with us. And some of those people won't. Just like people who have hurt us and had some lessons to learn and pushed us away want to come back in our life. We don't want to do it out of pride and ego. Some people hurt us so badly, that they could only be a social acquaintance from now on. There's no way I could ever trust you because you acted in such a horrendous way. Other people, if people have healed and grown and matured, if we're willing to somehow incorporate them back in our life, just that, social acquaintances, people could do that. But high vibe people who really learn lessons in life, regardless of who they approach or approaches them, or people that they might have to want to approach to say, hey, I've learned some lessons in life, they don't let any of that deter them anymore. I accept that everybody has free will. I accept that there are consequences for my actions. And that's what some shadowy people, or when we had lessons to learn, maybe haven't learned yet, that there are consequences to their actions. Needless, when we juggle people, when we're not clear about our truth, and we reject some loving people in our life, if we ever wanted to recuperate a friendship of some sort with them, it might be irreparable. And that is consequences for our actions. The high vibe people are willing to accept the consequences of their actions. And they maintain balance within themselves, and they keep moving forward. Life's about learning lessons. I learned valuable lessons. And now I've learned that when I am, I've learned the lessons I was meant to learn. Some people are still going to learn some hard lessons because they are still juggling and not picking a path. And they could have loving people in their life that they're not choosing to do the work within themselves to move forward with those people. And so they're going to repeat a pattern to try to get them to see the truth. When do we get tired of kind of repeating old patterns, different people, different relationships, but it's really the same old thing? When are we going to deal with the truth? And the most important truth is that we need to learn to love ourselves and do the work within ourselves to love our own inner child, our own hopeful, believing nature, instead of looking for other people to love us. I'm going to love me so that when I go out in the world, I'm really someone who walks the talk, and I really am who I say I am, and has learned a lot of life lessons. So there you go, Aries. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.